Last summer we had a conference in Waterloo, Kitchener, in Canada, and at the University of Waterloo. And while we were there, they had one of the lunch periods, they had all the participants in the conference have lunch with the students there. And as the students were having lunch, they had Matt and Laurie give a talk to the students. And first Laurie spoke and she said, you know, if you just look at what the news says about Iran and Islam and Shiism, it's really misleading, and we lived there and it's not like that at all. And she talked a little bit about her experience. And then Matt talked about his study in the time he spent in Qom and studied there. And then some of the students had questions, and after they finished the questions, Matt said, you know, there's another question that maybe it didn't occur to you, but I'd like to ask it of myself on your behalf, because maybe later on you might think of this question. So he said, okay, Matt, tell me. To himself he said, what was the most interesting religious event that you ever saw while you were in Iran? And he said, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked that. For me, the most interesting and meaningful thing that I found in the time that I was in Iran was Ashura. This is a Christian. And he went on to explain what Imam Hussein did to save the cause of Islam from people who wanted to pervert it. And he said, Ashura is commemorated among the Shia on the anniversary of the martyrdom of Imam Hussein, because the cause of Islam was being changed, was being lost. People were using the outward signs of Islam in order to pursue power and oppression. And Imam Hussein stood up against that and was brutally killed with all of his family and his closest companions in order to save the original, true message of Islam. This is a Christian who was saying this. And I felt ashamed, because I couldn't defend Imam Hussein as well as this Christian friend of mine could. And I call myself a Shia. And then I have friends here who tell me, what's the point of all this stuff about dialogue and interreligious reaction? Who cares? If they don't become Christian, what does it, if they don't become Muslim, what does it matter? It matters. This young man, Matt Pierce, was able to bring the message of Ashura to people in Ontario in a way better than I could and better than lots of our ulama could. So, just in conclusion, all I'm trying to say is to, when it comes to the question of what does it mean to be Shia in America? What does it mean to be Muslim in America? It means be creative, reach out, talk to people. Try to exhibit in your own life the signs that the imams are talking about in these narrations that we have. It doesn't just mean that we sit around with one another and talk about, you know, how great it is and read the Quran together or something. We have to reach out. We have to show who we are. We have to put it into practice.